There is a substantial risk of loss associated with trading forex, binary options, stocks, or equities, collectively, asset classes. Only risk capital should be used for trading. Trading in any asset classes is not appropriate for everyone. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. No representation is being made that investors will make profits, or will not sustain losses. Before trading in any asset classes, investors should consult with their professional broker, financial advisor, or financial consultant to determine whether trading asset classes is appropriate. Investors who trade in any asset classes should only do so if the capital used for this purpose represents funds that an investor can afford to lose without adversely impacting the investor's lifestyle. No trading strategy or methodology is without risk of loss. No trading strategy is risk-free, and no trading strategy can guarantee profits or freedom from losses. Investors risk losing the cost to execute any transaction, including associated commissions or fees. You should carefully consider whether trading in any asset class is appropriate for you in light of your investment experience and financial resources. Any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk. None of the statements or materials in the Auvoria Prime chat rooms constitute a solicitation or recommendation to buy or sell.
So, we understand where we're at and what's been going on with all of the different trading conditions. We can recently see that USD CAD has recently taken the lead on absolute gain, not total gain, but absolute gain. Which is surprising. USD CAD has had a higher drawdown before, but it, that was back in May of 21, so that was over a year ago now, and we've increased entries since then, and since then, our drawdown has seemed to be virtually non-existent, and if we take a look, it hasn't done a huge gain, but USD CAD just on its own as a currency pair in swing settings has done a 10.72% gain. Just one pair, which is pretty impressive to see it. It took the lead recently, right? This month alone, it did 5.53%. So just kind of cool to see. And overall, besides for that one spike back in May of 21, where, we did bump the entry up on it, due to the drawdown exceeding 25%. It has had virtually no drawdown as a currency pair. So it's actually been a very solid pair to run. That's why, again, we have some pairs that are in our best performers list. It hasn't been an extremely exciting pair, but it has not also lost a lot of money. And if we look at the results of this account since 2020, we can see that just USD CAD's performance. So again, we analyze each currency pair kind of individually and take a look at how they've done, where, we've seen that the JPY pairs time and time again are just a problem. And I said it even when we started with GearBox back in 2020. We saw the JPY pairs go on a terror run back in December. They pretty much, from the time we launched GearBox to December, JPY pairs had gone on a terror run, and these accounts were actually brand new and refunded accounts. Some of these JPY accounts had already blown once in the past, and we increased their entries significantly. But as we've noticed during times of war and times of volatility, the yen is just more and more a pair that is going to trend out of control, and that makes JPY pairs not a great strategy for any kind of reversal platform. JPY pairs are great for trend strategies, but in the terms of GearBox, we are using a mixture of a counter trend strategy that is designed to catch the end of a trend and look for a reversal. Now, the JPY pairs don't respect reversals. Not only did these ones lose money, the CHF JPY account blew a few months ago, that was, where is the CHF JPY? I thought I had an FX book on it. Maybe I never did, and that was the problem why we didn't see it. I think that might have been it. Is it hidden somewhere in here? CPAs. No. Yeah, it seems I maybe never hooked up an FX book. But point of the story is CHF JPY. If I showed you the FX book on that one, there is no money in the account, and that was the second time. First time it lost it, and these are my data accounts. Again, this is what I optimize our one pair data off of, which pairs are best to run, and I gotta say that the JPY pairs are significantly a terror, in my opinion. If you're going to run the JPY pairs, my advice would be in the version of GearBox Pro coming soon. And by coming soon, I don't mean next week. I mean, in the next quarter. There's a lot of features in it that you're going to see. We may just start with a version of it without all the features and add them as we go. But this feature would allow you to, in my opinion, run the JPY pairs a little more safely. If you're using GearBox Pro and you would like to run them, if you're using regular GearBox, I would eliminate all JPY pairs as soon as you're out of trades and can get out of them. They're just more and more... Here's what I have to say about JPY pairs, and shame on me for still even running them on data accounts. The only time I have ever, on any account, lost a significant amount of money using any counter trend EA in my career, and I've used a lot of EAs. The only time I've lost a significant amount of money with a strategy that I very much trusted was using JPY pairs. The first ever EA I used did 300% in 6 months, and then AUD JPY stole all of the account. That was years ago, and like before AP, just when I started using softwares 4 years ago. That was the first one. That was a 25 grand account, and it was completely toast. Now I'd only deposited, I think, like 10,000 into it and grew it to that, right? But through time, but started with like 2,500 and kept depositing. And that EA, that was my first learning lesson in EAs. The next time I lost 100 grand, it was JPY pairs. A year later, using another EA. Next time I even lost money with GearBox, JPY pairs. So, in my opinion, and I've said this before, and I saw some people quote me in the chat, that, and they didn't, they may have quoted me a little differently than how I actually said it, being that there is a little bit of foreign translation between our community. We're very global. But he said Tyler called JPY pairs terrorists. I don't think I ever called JPY pairs terrorists, and I'm not calling Japan terrorists because they're far from it. But the actual currency pair itself, yes, it loves to steal money from people that are using counter trend strategies or reversal strategies, unlike trend. So look to start eliminating JPY pairs. Absolutely. Let's continue taking a look at the data. I'm going to look at the questions. No, you don't need to close out. It's I would never. I'm not a fan of closing out unless. Okay, so there's two things you need to understand. I don't know your situation. I don't know what settings you're running. I don't know if you're aggressive, what your drawdown is. There's a lot I don't know. But I'm going to give you guidance based on any situation you could possibly be in. Let's say that you're running a little more aggressive than normal. Has your drawdown reached 50%? If your drawdown's over 50% and you already had a high aggression tolerance, keep in mind, I don't ever let my accounts get into that kind of drawdown. I don't like to stomach 20% drawdown. So I'm very specific. Now, I don't use an equity protector. I'm just a big fan of believing that if my accounts do go over 20% drawdown, that, again, as long as they don't go crazy, I'm fine. I have a balance protection setting with 25% drawdown. That means that after 25% drawdown, my account will not take another trade, not one more trade. And by understanding that, I have 75% of my equity to withstand whatever the markets can occur. I have stop losses in place, and I let it do what it needs to do. I've had times that I've been stuck in a trade for 3 months before, and we could take a look at things like that. I mean, let's go back to this OG account. All right, let's go back to November of 20. Right, I love showing accounts. Keep in mind, this account still has a balance. It's just not active. I haven't been trading it since really November of 21. Now, taking a look at this OG account, it had a little bit higher risk. It had 6 max pairs trading on a $1,500 balance on swing. This, in these market conditions, would have hit a way higher drawdown. So thankfully the account isn't running. You know, we've got more and more conservative as time's gone on through the years, as the market's gotten more volatile. But when we first started in 20, we were able to have a little more max pairs running with these settings. In today's world, I think this account would have probably touched, you know, 60, 70% drawdown with the current conditions that we are facing right now. But again, that's why you can't run any single strategy on a more aggressive setting, right? We've never led with 6 max pairs. I've always led. The default settings are 3. This was a aggressive account. It was always advertised as that. But the point I want to show you is I got a drawdown November 19th at 20. I never made out of the drawdown. Almost got out once, December, like a month later. And then we fell down even lower. We came back, almost made it back. All of a sudden dropped. Now we took losses, hit stop losses. Wow, look at that. Drawdown didn't even hit again the same peak, but this time we also lost money. Swung back. February 26th. Still wasn't out of all drawdown. Made it out of all drawdown March 23rd from that sequence. So this was a sequence right here. You guys could see that started. And the reason I show you this is to show you GearBox's power. There are times you are going to get in swing trades. There are times you might hold trades for a long period of time. This can happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen to you. It's absolutely going to happen to you at some point in your GearBox trading career. You need to be able to just understand the strategy and the long-term potential. Because in this case, let's imagine you were a brand new customer. You signed up right here. You're making some money, but you're a drawdown. But let's see what. You started here. We were up at 66%, 67%. Okay, you made it all the way to 80% from 66, right? You're up 14%. You're stoked. Next thing you know, you're down like 10%. You're like, whoa, what's up? What's up? You just started this thing. You're making money. You're up 20%. Now you're down like 10% of your initial investment. And you're in drawdown. What happened? It comes back. Comes back. Comes back. Comes back. Comes back again. Came down. Still up 20%. Came back. Up 16. And if we continued running, same thing. It'll continue like that. You're going to have some dips every once in a while. Have you ever looked at your 401k? If you have a 401k. I don't have a 401k because I'm a trader. But you know, there's a lot of adults, people that are in this thing. And have you looked at your stock portfolio during this time in the war times? Have you looked at any of the markets? You have to understand that dips are inevitable. The key is to stay alive, stay in the game, and live to see another day. That's my best advice for you in my trading career, because I've become a super conservative person. I've learned to just trust my strategies. One thing we're also going to do today, because I think it's going to be super fun, and since you guys are live on this call, I'm going to show you this to give you a level of boost, a level of belief. And I am managing a larger account. You're not going to be able to see me connect it, but real quick, I am going to take a peek, and I'm going to go over to another screen, and we're going to look to connect a MetaTrader 5 account to my FX book. So I'm very excited to show you this MetaTrader 5 account. Now, keep in mind the EA is only on MetaTrader 4. You're probably asking, well, how is this a GearBox account on MetaTrader 5? Well, it's really simple. For me, I have a way to make that happen. But I'm looking to get into this VPS real quick. And I'm going to connect over, and we're going to connect a MyFX book to an account I'm running with over $800,000 on it on GearBox. Okay, so I'm very excited to do this live in front of all of you, and give you, you know, a peek at this whole thing, because it's very cool, extremely powerful, and again, very rarely see something like it. So let's see if we can go ahead and connect so that you guys can physically see the results firsthand of what we have going on here. Okay. Okay. All right. We are about to, in real time here, get to connect this FX book, and I'm very excited to show some results. Okay, here we go. I believe allow. Oh, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh, I see what I did. Allow DLL imports on MetaTrader 5 is hidden in a different spot. You know that fun little box that we all like to click? There we go, publishing statement, and it was published. Let's take a look back over to this BuyFX book, and in real time live, we're going to take a look. All right, take a peek at this. Okay, this is GearBox. GearBox has taken 24 trades. We started this account really the beginning of April, and I mean, absolutely wow. 33 profit factor, up 7.86% with an absolute gain of 6.3, a drawdown of only 5%. And again, this is coming straight from the MT4 terminal. You can see firsthand we're up $55,000 profit. That actually means this account closed some profit this morning, because I haven't taken a look at it since. Oh, it indeed did close some more profit. Wow, look at that. Amazing. So, I love showing people the power in GearBox, and again, you can see the balance. This is a real account. I just literally connected this to my FX book using an EA, and here we are. One in 200 leverage. Live balance up $55,000, 6.3%. Absolute gain 7.86%. So that means we pumped out about 8% this month, almost, on a large balance. So keep in mind that's extremely exciting, and again should continue to show you the power in GearBox and what we have going on. And again, this is real capital being traded. So I'm going to take a look back here. Yep, So need a 25% balance protection, not equity protection, balance protection. So balance means it won't take another trade. Equity means it's going to close you out. So I personally don't use, that's why the equity protection is at 100. It means that let you go on 100% drawdown. Basically, the number you put there is the amount of drawdown you're willing to get into. But balance, I leave at 25 because my belief is if you have 75% of your equity to pad you and your stop losses are in place, you can handle some losses and make it back. If the world goes crazy, you're not gonna, your account is not fully jeopardized, right? And that's the biggest key. Alrighty. Well, with that being said, let's take a look at the week ahead. We've taken a look at the markets a little bit. We've kind of taken a look at the one pair data, talked about some changes in that data. Other pairs, let's see what's made money through April. GBP AUD, Euro USD, for me, has made money as well. It's done good here. AUD USD, doing good. Euro NZD has actually been crushing it through April. That's another thing I did want to mention. I want to show another $1 million account. This one, again, I'm going to pull up another screen for a minute. Don't mind me. I'm going to connect us, but, oh, I know how to find it. I have the account number. La 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 la. We're going to connect another account. This is a demo $1 million account that took many stop losses. It took many stop losses, so I do want to show you this. But it actually came back from all of them, and that's why it's so cool to be able to show you this. So give me a second, and we are going to have it pulled right on up. Okay, 211 9494. Okay, let's connect another MyFX book here while we're at it. Because I know Euro NZD we've added to a worse performing list, but here's the thing. Many of these pairs are going to hit stop losses and get added. If every pair that hits a stop loss gets added to a worst performers list, we're not going to be anywhere. Now, it does make sense that they stay in the worst performers and that they are for only advanced users, because people that don't have a stomach for risk shouldn't use worst performing pairs. But they do create some profit typically as well. Sometimes they're worse, sometimes they're bad, but the reason I want to show this is Euro NZD took some losses, but on that data account, it's never taken any. But on large accounts, it did. And again, that's the other thing. With every gearbox, is kind of different. It depends when you get in the trade, when your account launched, when it started. There's a lot of factors, but okay, we're going to add an account. I'm going to keep talking all day. Gearbox 1 milli of G NVFX. We need NV live. Best passwords there. 211 9494. Okay. We're creating this account in real time to MyFX book, and I'm showing you this. So I want to show you again the power in Gearbox being able to take losses. This account hit 5 stop losses on Euro NZD, and I want you to see where it's at now. Oh, that's not going to work as a demo account. Yeah, this is going to fail. I'm going to have to switch that to demo. Oh, la la. This is the demo one. Give me... Let it fail first. We'll be sitting here for a minute. Any questions while we're sitting? I know we have lots of live callers here. All right. if you're excited watching this recording later, keep in mind you can probably fast forward a minute because it's probably faster for me to just refresh because this is going to fail. Yeah, there we go. Let's just do it again. Demo. And hold on, account number was. All right, that account has connected. Let's take a look at this. So I want to show you firsthand. Take a look at this. All right. This account, we started January 19th. The account got up to 5.8%. Dropped back. And now that account's up 8.9%. So you can see you can take some losses. We were down 5.9%, so we lost 10%, and that was our 11% drawdown. I mean, we lost that, then went in drawdown, made it all back. So again, the point in showing that is to show that GearBox is designed to be able to handle risk and things. This account's actually up $89,000 now. Wow. So super phenomenal. Again, you can see that, you know, when you just let it run, you trust the process, you're running the right settings, you understand your risk management, you have nothing you need to overly worry about or complicate. Losses are inevitable, but look at what happens when you let it just work itself through the process every single time. So again, we're going to take a look at the upcoming week, and then I'm going to let you guys run. Thank you guys so much always for tuning into these calls and being here. Means the world to be on here with you guys. So let's take a look at the upcoming week, take a look at the news. We're going into the next month here. So we see a very calm start to the week. Monday, we have PMI, USD, we have AUD cash rate and RBA rate statement, we have USD on JOLTS job openings Tuesday, NZD employment and unemployment change, Wednesday ADP non-farm employment change for USD, and FOMC federal funds rates press conference. It's going to be a little bit of a volatile week, it looks like. We got FOMC as well as ADP non-farm employment. And then you have Thursday with GDP, a lot of official bank rate statements, even into Friday with Canadian news and USD. So looks like we got a little bit of everything besides some JPY news, which some people maybe were hoping for. But now a lot of volatility maybe this week. Another great week. Stay in sniper mode if you are. Swing mode is always going to be a riskier decision during times of uncertainty. Intraday modes are always never good during times of uncertainty. But with that being said, I'm going to pretty much stick to moving all my accounts into probably sniper moving forward for the time being. Or those ones here are a little more risky like the data accounts, I stick on swing because I want to know what anybody could be facing using precision modes with those data accounts. Again, this is how I understand what we need to optimize. This is how I understand what needs to get advanced and go to the next level with this product, as you know, a lot of developers just aren't doing that. And we put our heart and soul, live money into this thing to make sure that we're continuously enhancing this product. And you can understand that I'm trading my own money with this product. This isn't just a, you know, a thing for me. This is how I build wealth myself. So we're going to constantly be advancing it and making it the best way possible. And giving you the strategies that I use to even build my own wealth. But with that being said, appreciate every single one of you that tuned into this call. With that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And yes, JPY pairs, run away from them. CHF pairs aren't the worst, but yeah, definitely not the best either. Two of the most highly manipulated currency pairs in the world are CHF and JPY. So with that and understanding that, yeah, probably just best to totally eliminate them. Some of them aren't technically worse performers, some of the CHF pairs, but again, many brokers are offering lower leverage on them too. So maybe look to eliminate those pairs and stick to the ones that tend to be the most liquid and stable with the least runaway trends that just never end. But with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and thanks again for tuning in.
There is a substantial risk of loss associated with trading forex, binary options, stocks, or equities, collectively, asset classes. Only risk capital should be used for trading. Trading in any asset classes is not appropriate for everyone. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. No representation is being made that investors will make profits or will not sustain losses. Before trading in any asset classes, investors should consult with their professional broker, financial advisor, or financial consultant to determine whether trading asset classes is appropriate. Investors who trade in any asset classes should only do so if the capital used for this purpose represents funds that an investor can afford to lose without adversely impacting the investor's lifestyle. No trading strategy or methodology is without risk of loss. No trading strategy is risk-free, and no trading strategy can guarantee profits or freedom from losses. Investors risk losing the cost to execute any transaction, including associated commissions or fees. You should carefully consider whether trading in any asset class is appropriate for you in light of your investment experience and financial resources. Any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk. None of the statements or materials in the Auvoria Prime chat rooms constitute a solicitation or recommendation to buy or sell.